From the legendary Mike Tyson to the unparalleled Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the dominant Michael Spinks, these are the boxers who revealed who they were too scared to box. Let's embark on a journey through the most unforgettable moments of fear and intimidation in the history of boxing. We'll revisit the times when the greatest boxers in the world confessed to being intimidated by their opponents. These heart-pounding moments, driven by courage and determination, have left a lasting impact on the world of sports. So lace up your gloves and let's delve into the fear and bravery that have shaped the sport of boxing. Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight champion of the world, is undoubtedly one of the most feared boxers of all time. With his immense strength, precision, coordination, blazing hand speed, and impeccable timing, Tyson was a force to be reckoned with in the ring.
In spite of, they still succeeded. So I'm nobody. I've been a millionaire most of my life. I'm good.
But surprisingly, Tyson once admitted to being afraid of his opponent, Lennox Lewis. In 2002, Tyson and Lewis were set to face each other in a highly anticipated heavyweight bout. During a pre-fight interview, when asked about his thoughts on fighting Lewis, Tyson shocked everyone by admitting that he was indeed scared. He said, "I'm scared every time I step into the ring. Overcoming my fears is part of the job, but Lennox is a big guy, and he's dangerous." Tyson's confession of fear was a rare moment in the sport of boxing. It's not often that fighters admit to being intimidated by their opponents, especially someone like Tyson, who had built a reputation for being fearless. Nevertheless, Tyson's admission showed that even the greatest fighters in the world can experience fear, and that courage and determination play a crucial role in overcoming it. Despite this fear, Tyson stepped into the ring to face Lewis. The bout was a nail-biting encounter, with Lewis using his size and reach advantage to control the fight. In the end, Lewis emerged victorious with a knockout in the 8th round. Tyson's confession of fear may have been surprising, but it was a testament to the bravery of fighters who, despite their fear, step into the ring and give it their all, providing us with some of the most memorable moments in sports history. Moments like the highly anticipated match between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Marcos Maidana in 2014. Did you know that before the fight, Mayweather Jr. admitted that he was intimidated by Maidana's power?
Out of my career, I just want to say, none of them was really tough. None was really tough. I mean, you got guys that punch hard and hit hard.
The reputation of Marcos Maidana in the boxing world was built upon his powerful punches and aggressive style in the ring, which made Mayweather Jr. wary of him. Despite this, Mayweather Jr. managed to outsmart Maidana and secure a unanimous decision victory. This goes to show how much respect Mayweather Jr. had for his opponent, even if he was intimidated by his power.
I don't always talk about different things that I'm doing. You know, what I'm working on right now in New York City, I know you guys, if you guys haven't seen one of my buildings, is One Summit.
But wait, we have more. The showdown between Michael Spinks and Mike Tyson was a different story altogether. It was a spectacle, a fight that would go down in history. Spinks reigned supreme as the heavyweight king of the world, commanding respect and awe with his dominant performances in the ring. That all changed when it came time to face Tyson. Spinks was petrified. Tyson was on a knockout streak and had a killer look in his eyes, leaving Spinks completely freaked out. Despite being one of the best fighters of his time, Spinks and his team were so intimidated by Tyson that they tried to dodge the fight at all costs.
He's a champion of the world, heavyweight champion.
He can fight. He can fight. I saw that. He can fight. So, I mean, he should do well.
But on June 27th, 1988, the two finally clashed in the ring. As soon as that bell rang, all of Spinks' plans went out the window. Tyson was a force to be reckoned with, and in just 91 seconds, he brutally knocked out Spinks and stamped his dominance within the heavyweight division. The world was in awe of Tyson's power. This fight highlights the fear and intimidation Tyson was able to inflict on his opponents. Even the top fighters of the time were scared to step up to the plate against him. Even outside of the ring, Tyson was known for having a real-life tough guy persona. It was common knowledge that Tyson had a brutal temper, and prior to becoming a boxing legend, he was frequently involved in street fights. But for now, let's talk about the fight that never happened, but could have. Mike Tyson versus George Foreman. This is a story of two legendary boxers who are both renowned for their raw strength and unyielding courage in the ring. Let's delve deeper into the reasons why this fight never materialized. What if we were to analyze the fear factor that played a crucial role in preventing it from happening? First, let's examine Mike Tyson. He was the youngest heavyweight champion in history at just 20 years old. Tyson's style was characterized by his lightning-fast hand speed and relentless power, which he used to overwhelm his opponents. He had a devastating right hand and an iron chin, which made him a formidable opponent for anyone who stepped into the ring with him. Tyson's reputation as a knockout artist spread rapidly, and he became one of the biggest names in boxing. His presence in the ring was enough to intimidate his opponents, who often seemed to be overmatched from the moment the bell rang. This was due to Tyson's ability to end a fight quickly, which left little room for error or adjustments on the part of his opponents. His opponents were often intimidated by his speed and power, which often resulted in him knocking them out in the early rounds. His charismatic personality and larger-than-life persona made him a fan favorite.
This is crazy. I get high. I'm fighting in my hallway. I'm hitting people with the lamp. I'm just fighting. And so everybody was worried in America that I'm in Cuba.
And he remains one of the most recognizable figures in the sport of boxing to this day. On the other hand, George Foreman was a boxer who relied on his power and stamina. Foreman's professional boxing career spanned over 2 decades, during which he established himself as one of the most powerful and enduring fighters in the sport. He was a 2-time heavyweight champion, having won his first title in 1973 and reclaiming it in 1994 at the age of 45, making him the oldest heavyweight champion in history.
He could have beat all of those guys we just mentioned. He could have beaten them all, but that Muhammad Ali, who played with him and talked with him so much, nobody's prepared for that.
He was known for his relentless attack, and his punches could bring down even the toughest of opponents. Foreman's style was similar to that of a steamroller, constantly pushing forward and throwing heavy punches. Given the style of these two legendary boxers, it's easy to understand why they both may have been intimidated by each other. Tyson was well aware of Foreman's power and may have been intimidated by his relentless attack. Meanwhile, Foreman may have been intimidated by Tyson's speed and knockout power.
Thinking man's sport. You got to think. You must think all the time. Sure, you got power left and right, but you must think. And I never forgot that.
So what would have happened if these two boxers had stepped into the ring and faced each other? Would Tyson's speed and power have been too much for Foreman to handle? Or would Foreman's relentless attack and heavy punches have worn Tyson down and led to a victory? Unfortunately, we will never know. But despite the fear factor that prevented this fight from happening, the legacies of Mike Tyson and George Foreman will always be remembered. Their impact on the sport of boxing is undeniable, and they will always be regarded as two of the greatest boxers of all time. They may have never faced each other in the ring, but the thought of what could have been is enough to get any boxing fan's heart racing. They may have been intimidated by each other, but their impact on the sport of boxing will always be remembered, and their legacies will always be an inspiration to future generations of boxers. So from fights that did happen to the ones we wished happened, those are the boxers that revealed who they were too scared to box.